What can't you take? Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Flash the slash. Nice shot. Slice and dice. Might not need that now, but you will later. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks travelled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Chop it up. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. That'll come in handy. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village. He must have had a purpose with that. The question is, what?
Oloi bo bopaweg ugambun ang ugagad yebromo wufu.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Looper Lupin did to your village, your Mooma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end.
Atu wamawa gabobe farhi.
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have.
Mauya.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Mooma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Tamuk gabamuktab gabobe farhi.
The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Mooma knows you are here. Sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. There's nothing as powerful as a Mooma's love. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a Magic? He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, powering and connecting all things living, like the Nono. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the pensai tree. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw mineral from the natural rock. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu disciples disciplined. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eaters' DNA into overdrive. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater. The Mekton, the Octopod, the Majute, and the Goo Glide are almost ready to ride. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. It's a bridge. Just get over it. Pow! Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh. It's such a little spark.
Take it out now while it's small.
There's always another spark.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe's Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. Myriad is convinced that defeating the World Eaters is the only way the world can be saved, but they've been forced to focus on their rivalry with the Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do.
Atu Wamawa.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. They've already got word of an intruder, so he guesses the Sifu must be very interested in meeting you.
Sibi? La fanen aginkan man. Gerat na fal hutut mustugay la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. He heard you took Out of Date's side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted.
Hello, get a one thing. Get in thinking of what they are.
The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. Soon after, they formed new tribes based on their own values, and when the Blight started, the animosity escalated to war. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the World Eaters to save the Tree of Life. He didn't expect that of you. You're the essence of a being born good. It seems that the darkness that's fallen on this land has also gone to your head. He thinks you should reconsider and follow your heart instead of your mind. Otherwise, he'll have no choice but to treat you as a rival. He offers you to return and take your place at his side when you've found out you've picked the wrong one. And with that, he urges you to seek protection at Jagni's Stick Fort as soon as you can. He won't be able to guarantee your safety now. He says that not taking a side in the tribe war is the same as taking the other side. If you're not with them, you're against them. Goodbyes are not forever. They're not the end. He assures you that he is going to be the be-all and end-all before this is over. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. That's not too bad. Let's see.
adu hasna.
Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says the Sifu is popular these days as the tribe grows stronger by the day. He suggests you let the Sifu do the talking when you meet. He prefers it that way.
Zata is the moi dotloho. Kariesne statse. Paro, ya put
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. The wall that separates them from the other side, the wasteland you came from. He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as empty and barren as the wasteland itself. He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves to find ourselves, but he's glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about... Your Muma invented Wung Fu. Originally, it was based on unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can vanquish the other tribes. The one he wants to deal with first is the Myriad tribe. The Jagni's destiny is to do what others are too afraid to do, to vanquish past and future disillusions of unity and take control of our destiny. Uniting the tribes and saving the Tree of Life won't change anything. Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bone, but they refuse to be the victim here. They have no intention of letting this drag out, or they'll run the risk of teaching the enemy their art of war. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Even if you see the world differently, you must hit them as soon and as hard as you can. The outcome of this war is up to you. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon, and kin. The only kin who count are the kin that are left standing at the end of the war. Let's focus on making that our kin, not theirs. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost, but we've got no time to be sentimental. War doesn't wait. He can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness of something lost. Crow's about helping you take apart all the nests and picking the world clean for the Jagni tribe. Says you'll meet again. The vendor says you can browse his goods any time during opening hours. Wants you to know you won't find a better deal anywhere else. Could trade your old things for new.
Bergala ejhara fatap kula menjala namzia terana mania patiatia.
Claims to have strange things from the dead zone that are so rare they need to be seen to be believed. Says you came to the right place. They only stock products of the finest. You can get stranger if you like.
Just a full earth.
The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort.
Cliff halif dwareni.
Says you'll meet again. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. On the ropes. Slashing dash. What doesn't kill you? Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Then he wants you to know that if you find yourself going through bad times, you should just keep going. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He understands Wang Fu is hard. That's why your Muma only has 6 disciples. Doing just one thing helps you get more done in less time. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? There's no better time to do what needs to be done than right now. He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? He says a feeling that you're going to drown is a great reminder of the need to learn how to swim. But you need practice, lots of practice. Great things usually happen to those who never stop trying. He hopes you'll be one of them. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. He won't let anyone know you can't swim. He assumes that's what you meant. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go.
and Sonbara.
The dedication to training is important. You can't rely solely on the fact that Wang Fu is in your blood.
Apli Tonomuta.
You should know, practice makes perfect.
Apli Tonomuta.
As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only make you stronger.
Apli Tonomuta.
She'll see you at the village square.
Ganaruta. Apli Tonomuta.
She'll be waiting for you. There will be a surprise for you at the end, too. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. His only interest when creating is that what he comes up with is actually useful. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. It's your own future you're risking by not caring for the environment. The next generation will pay for the mistakes of the last. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. Sometimes he's an expert, but sometimes he just does what's right. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. But that's his point, to take something useless, change it, and put it to good use again. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He appreciates those able to deliver a sharp remark. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. You're not in this world to live up to his expectations, but he hopes you'll never get... He's looking forward to seeing what... It looks like she's starting to lose her patience.
Berry?
You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away.
Ruhemu Kalina?
You'll continue to build on the basics. Talent will only take you so far.
Kanaruta.
She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone.
Gendrana Mala. Monidasa.
That's all she's ever asked of you, that you'll try and give it your best. You can't do more than that.
Gendrana Mala. Asadurutu.
You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. She wants you to understand that whatever path you choose in life, you must stay true to yourself. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He says that it's not too late for you to turn back, though. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. He says you're right. Nobody can tell him what he can and can't do, and that includes you. She asks if you're hurt. What happened? If confidence is silent and insecurity is loud, she thinks you're absolutely right. The most important thing is that you're okay. It's time to focus on your training now. She suggests that you forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them more. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling.
Untisavela.
Training with Muma will make you feel better. It always does.
Dakatnio umumwaka zif.
He asks if you could help him, too, before you leave for training.
Ruvain zif.
He'll leave the quick part to you. You're the martial artist, after all.
Ruvain.
He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics. He's curious to see what you found.
Amanka, wuksa uintabadan kali kukakwana.
He's gathered so much over the years, and it's hard to remember everything. Nothing's wrong with his memory. It's just short.
Why adfuno jabe kun?
He can work wonders with pretty much anything, and asks if you know how to upcycle.
Eskayamakuki, why adfuno jabe?
Says at least dirty hands are proof that you tried, and that counts. That you failed this time doesn't mean you can't succeed the next.
Papa Zulu.
He says it's about time you learned how, and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap you found.
Vaksan uintabadan kamaklai. Eskayamaku.
The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you.
Vaksan uintabadan kamaklai. Hose eskuku Johanna.
He can see the rebel in you. You're like your Muma in that way, always choosing your own path, even if it might lead you to peril.
Over bugbug.
You should take it with you, wear it to practice.
Hose eskuku Johanna. Mashaku hirsabe.
He's sure your Muma will forgive you for not wearing the traditional outfit.
Yamafore tomedahunka.
He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this.
Asana yotutupu.
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Minalagi mamuru.
Hopes you're as ready as you claim to be.
Kamonu. Asana yotutupu.
She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left before the sun goes down.
Dropalu kanamunt.
But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back.
Pendrine senema.
Wants you to prove that with some practice first. Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Masamal.
Thanks you for being such a good student.
Mustiki muhka. Pendrine senema.
Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz.
Masammal andro?
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Anora kapapom.
That's why you should be sure to thank him for it. Catchy.
Mustiki muhka?
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Drumblene marsamambunundu.
Figuring that out is half the fun.
Aplitonumuta. Domale tuk.
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent communication device.
Ferena masalapu.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Kanaruta.
You should think of it as watching over you when she can't.
Dropalup.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Kanamunt.
Says a good rest makes you ready. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupin from setting the world on fire.
Antoro. Kensi. Kamamu.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Tateko baba sakting.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupin. This time there's no escape. She can hear him coming.
Dropalup.
Lupin is a problem older than you.
Kalino. Gendrana mala. Antoro.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead.
Gendrana mala.
She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. History has finally caught up with her.
Pendrine senema. Amun.
She loves how brave you are, but she can't be worrying about you while she fights. This is her fight. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. reload it by swinging back your arm. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. King. Smirked. You don't have it in you right now. It was harder than expected to take down the Fluff Hulk. They've received news a Ronin joined the tribe's ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of Jagni warriors are already waiting for you at Myriad's Vespidut outpost. You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost. Mercy is for the weak. The Jagni tribe seek no one's sympathy.
Kiusa kladas.
Better not keep the war party waiting.
Fauptuila yutu.
Better not keep the war party waiting.
Yunuba yotairotut.
Look, an emergency box from the old days, when you... Wow, bet that knuck makes a tight fist. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Your key energy isn't up to that. Sharp. Bang, bang.
using it up.
Hack and slash. Feels good to be alive. Makes you look smarter. That notice board, filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Toxanol never cared about the waste, as long as they didn't have to pay to clean it up. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried.